Hello, Namaskar, and Salam Alaikum. Before I start this subject, which is what career to choose if I'm not good in studies, and I will talk about the career that you have to choose is entrepreneurship. But I must tell you a joke on entrepreneurship. Very nice, you will enjoy it. There was this rich man, very rich man, sitting on a bench near the sea beach, and he was observing the sea quietly. And suddenly, a man, seemed a poor man, sat next to him. And the rich man asked him, Who are you?" He said, "I'm a fisherman." And what do you do? He says, I fish here in the sea, and half of the fish that I catch, I use it at home, and the other half I sell it off. How much do you make from that? I make about 25,000, but is that good enough? He says, "Well, I'm happy, my family is happy, and I do this every day. But why don't you plan something for your future?" So he says, "What should I do?" He says, "You must buy good nets, buy a good boat." But how do I go about? You can go for loans. The banks are giving you loans. Go for loans. And once you get the loans, you will make 50, 60, 80,000. And then what? Then you have a cold storage. You can keep your fish in the cold storage, the extra ones that you get, and you can sell it at a higher price. And then what happens? You can make 2 lakhs. And what then next? The fisherman asks, and the rich man tells him, then you can take loans and you can make an industry, and you can start exporting, and you will make millions and millions of rupees. Then what do you do? Then you can travel all over the world, says the rich man very proudly. And then the fisherman says, "After that, what do I do?" He says, "Then you do something like go for spiritualism, go for more happiness." And for that, what I will do? The fisherman asks. The rich man says, "You can come to the sea beach or go to the mountains." He says, "But I am there in the sea beach every day, and I am happy." So, and the rich man kept quiet. So the moral of the story is that you need to be happy. Now, to be happy, the questions that you youngsters ask me often, youngsters, by youngsters I mean anybody between the age of 16 to 40. You can be a guy or a gal. The problem is same these days. Girls are also facing problems as much as the boys are. So therefore, if you are not good in studies, if you are not one of those who believes in certificates and higher degrees from branded universities and spend 60 to 70 lakhs, this is not the end of the tunnel. You got a lot of scope, you got a lot of things to do. And let me tell you that people who are educated, the guys who are educated at Harvard, MIT, NIT, and what all, are not all very successful. Just 25% of them earn salaries of maybe 50 lakhs or over that. But the rest are not doing so well. So therefore, what's important? Now, what I am going to try to tell you today and mentor you about is entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship. Now, what to do to become an entrepreneur? Nothing. You don't need any money. You don't need much. You can be an entrepreneur even after doing class 10 or maybe less, or maybe class 12 or even a graduate. Doesn't matter. Now, what are the prerequisites to be a good entrepreneur? Look, my story is like I was also a son of a man who was a salesman, and he used to get pittance, like he was almost a peon. And but I had that in me, that today I am here speaking to you, and by God's grace, everything is hunky dory for me. And today I'm sharing my experiences with you. I am Mahesh Gulani, and if you like my video, please press the like button, subscribe to it, and I will keep pouring in more videos like this to actually boost your confidence, to make you feel good, to make you feel that you can do it. You don't have to be a son of a rich man. You don't have to have certificates. You don't have to do universities. Many people, I've heard many young boys and girls saying, look, because my father couldn't afford, so I couldn't do this. I wanted to become a surgeon and I wanted to join this hospital or that hospital. No, you don't require all that. If you want to be an entrepreneur, what you require to be an entrepreneur, I have figured out what things are required and what things I had also. Now, you have to be creative to be an entrepreneur. Creative. You have to think new things. You have to always have ideas. Whilst playing a flying kite, you start thinking that, look, if I made something else, if I put a camera on this, what could I do? Something like that. Crazy. Yeah, I go crazy. You know. So you have to be creative. One, first. Second thing, you must have a lot of common sense. See, I'll not tell you everything in details, because if I talk in details, I need a podcast, I need a webinar for 1.5 hours, 2 hours. But I have to complete this YouTube video as at a minimum time, so that you don't get bored and go into the other channel. So therefore, when I say common sense, try to understand what is common sense. Talk sense. 3, you must have good communication skills. Matlab, like you can speak well any language. If you are a Hindi speaking, if you are Spanish speaking, French speaking, or English speaking, you must speak the language nicely. And once you speak a language nicely or fluently, you become a good communicator. By communicating well, I mean, you have to be a storyteller. You can make a story of anything, like there was a flood, there was this COVID-19 virus, and what happened, what good, bad happened. You can be a storyteller, and a storyteller can have a lot of ideas. The fourth item that I would tell you is what is required, please write it down, is charm. You have to be charming. By charming doesn't mean that you have to be very handsome. You have to be very beautiful. A charming person can be anybody. Someone who's pot-bellied, someone who's completely, totally bald, someone who's got one eye which is winking all the time. I don't have to give you examples, but you can be a charmer. Okay? Now, I'll not give you what the definition of charming. You can look it up. And, basically, the fifth item that you require is that you have to give good energy, positive energy to people, free. You must have that in you, that I'm giving the positive, good energy to someone, and let me tell you something. You'll get it back, but don't wait for that getting back. When you have an idea and when you want to become an entrepreneur, you must only have plan A, no plan B. Most of the mentors of the world, TED Talks, whatever, they will always talk to you about plan A, plan B, plan C. But if you, who are beginning your life at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, or 25 or 30, if you have plan A, B, C, D, then you will not stick to one. So therefore, your plan A to begin with, which means no plan B. You just go on that. Whether you are a failure or a winner, wait. Patience. You have to play the patience game. Now, if you're listening to my YouTube now, my talks, my mentoring, don't get serious. Becoming an entrepreneur doesn't mean that you're becoming a surgeon or some rocket scientist, that you have to study the whole day. You enjoy life, please. Go ahead. Do your partying, meet people, have girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever you have a lot of friends. It's definitely required. But if you are on drugs or if you are on heavy liquoring, please don't overdo it. Because I say, don't abuse these vices, so-called vices, which means your drinks or the drugs. Don't abuse. Once in a while, it's okay. So your prerequisites to become an Entrepreneur, one, you have to be creative. Two, you must have a lot of common sense. Three, good communication skills. Four, use charm. Five, give positive energy to people. Six, no plan B, only plan A, and enjoy life is the seventh one. Right? So these are your requisites. Now, you would say, okay, I have all or I have some. It's okay if you have some also. Now, what are the opportunities? There are so many people who keep talking. My father talks, my uncle talks, and it's all talk, talk, talk. But nobody gives me ideas, nobody tells me step by step guide. Anyway, in this little time, I'll help you there. Now, if you ask me, these are COVID times, virus times, and lockdown times. What I foresee for the future, once this goes, meaning 2021, is that the entrepreneurship in anything which is to do with education, you will do well. Now, by education doesn't mean that you have to have certificates. It's not, education doesn't mean only to become a teacher. There are a lot of things. You can start an institute and keep teachers and even hire a principal. You just not there also. You have to have some good management people who will run the show for you. But the idea has to be yours. The communication has to be yours. Two, social media, of course. Social media is number one now, but maybe it might just take a backseat because life is changing very fast. So social media will be there for another 2-3 years, but I don't know what's there in store. So you can go for social media. That's number two. Number three is healthcare and wellness. Healthcare and wellness. In healthcare, you have a lot of things, and I have spoken in my earlier videos about healthcare. Wellness now, you can be a nutritionist for girls. It's very good. You can go for nursing. In nutritionists, there are lots and lots of possibilities of jobs and other things or businesses. I know people who are working in Mumbai and Bangalore and Delhi. They are getting 2 lakhs per month as nutritionists. Yes, you don't believe me? No jokes. 2 lakhs. So, but you have to be skillful. You have to be good. You can't just say, I must get money just on its own. No, you can't get like that. And the fourth is a little tough, but very good future. Trust me. If I was 20, I would go for this. Waste management, water management, clean environment management, sports management. These are the future. I don't have to tell you in details. You can just Google it and see what are the opportunities there. But they are tremendous and they are very good. Trust me. Fifth is skills. You had seen a Hindi film called Lakshya. There, Hrithik Roshan is good for nothing. He goes to the army and comes back. Then his father tells him, son, you don't have to be too good in life today. You just have to be good. You have to be just ordinary but good. Even if you cut grass, learn to cut grass nicely, which means be skillful. Trust me, in my area, I'm in an upmarket area. The gardeners that we hire, they come just for 1 hour once in a week, and they charge us 2,500. Now, if he goes to 30, 40 houses, you calculate how much he's earning. And if he's got those skills, then he can easily make 1 lakh or 2. He may be called a gardener. These days you don't call them gardeners also. Mali, as they call in India. So these are the 5 requisites that you require. These are the opportunities. Sorry, requisites I had given earlier. These are your opportunities. Now, once you got these opportunities and you've gone through all this, for God's sake, for all this to materialize, you need your parents' best wishes. So keep good relationships with your parents. If they disagree with you in many of your ventures, don't argue with them. Tell them these are new things. You wait. Please have patience, or don't answer back. Just listen, even if they are not being rational. Just listen to them. Now, to end this my mentoring to you, my giving you soft skills here, you have to have stability. You have to be stable. You have to have stability to evolve. You must evolve. You don't have to just stay in one place. That virtue is with a donkey. A donkey is in one place. You have to evolve. Okay? Stability of evolving. Right? So on that note, I end this video. This is Mahesh Gulani signing off again. I'll be back again. I have my videos, 2 videos per week, but promise if you like my videos, if I have more views, then definitely I will do a video every day, maybe 1, 2, 3. But you have to like me. If you don't like me, you will not see my video and I'll go off. So you know what you have to do, right? Bye bye. Namaskar.